Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Monday, August 23rd, 2021. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll notice right here the ES currently trading back above 44.50. A very sharp bounce from Thursday's lows here. Very strong pullback into the pivot range. Took out the lows of the month. A midpoint retest and go on Friday, and here we are again continuing to trade at these highs. It's been a narrow overnight range overall, 52% of average here, just trading 21.5 points here ahead of the RTH open. But still, for the most part, after this strong low, the idea was that we snap back to the midpoint of that range, which we did, perhaps the same day, and then look to go to a new high yet again. So looking for price to come up here and test the 44.76 halves at some point over the next couple of days, perhaps push through that zone, at which point we can continue higher toward 45.45 as the upside target from this key range, or we could perhaps go sideways and then continue higher. So that's what we're looking for at the moment. Overall, any pullbacks early in the week could be buying opportunities until proven otherwise. Alright, let's take a look here at the NQ. NQ also had a solid bounce back here from the low, a bounce off the 14,700s, and now back to a new high already. It is now trading, or had been trading, just above the previous month's high, just above the previous week's high, and it's now back below that zone. Overall, again, the expectation is we likely push through to new highs at some point, and still, for the most part, in a trading range here. This one trading mostly range bound with the potential to see expansion at some point. Again, we could pull back even as deep as 14.2 and still be a tremendous buying opportunity for continuation higher. If we look at the developing profile here, we basically have kind of half a profile, and then we have this side. It appears as though we're about to come get the other side of this profile. So at some point, the expectation is that we continue higher toward 15.6 to 15.8 in the weeks ahead. So right now, again, as long as price can stay above 14.2, that opens up a continuation all the way to these highs. Let's take a look now at crude oil. You'll see crude oil right now with a tremendous bounce back day right now. This one up 3% right now. 3%, nearly a bullish outside day. Perhaps it did get it by a little bit, so it might be an outside day up right now. An extreme reversal day, very solid trend structure. The idea is that any pullback from here could still be a buying opportunity ahead. If we finish the day anywhere near these highs, any pullback Tuesday into about 63 at the current mid could be a continuation higher towards 66. But remember, we're in a very bearish downtrend right now. We just saw a significant breakdown through the key range low. We saw a breakdown through the 66 previous quarter's midpoint, and the downward sloping PIMA trigger zone remains firmly intact. So right now, any pullback here could be a selling opportunity for a continuation toward the previous quarter's low. That's around that 58 level. So, you know, if we do see a little bit of bounce here, we could be looking at a failed new high tomorrow. Maybe a short-term continuation higher, but a failed new high with potential drop to the downside. Last time it did it, it looked very strong, buy signal, then it held, failed, and then extended downward. So we could be looking at very similar price action ahead. So right now 66 is the level to overcome for bulls if this thing's going to remain bullish. Lastly, taking a look at gold futures. Right now this one up 1%, 18 points, very narrow 5-day range. Over the last 5 days, this one didn't trade much of anywhere. We had a very tremendous move after, prior to, and then that previous week, and then since then that was the range last week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Very narrow 5-day range, and you can see today already a tremendous range here 24.5 points, and this is 29% of ADR here just with today's range, let alone what we were looking at in the previous. The expectation is we may see some sort of increased volatility here pretty soon. That could take us to about 100 points. So from the current low here, I guess it'd be the low of the current range. That low 1774.60, so call it 75. 75 plus 100 puts you at 1875. That'd be a tremendous move here. This market hasn't been able to get above 1837s in quite a while. So the idea right now, again, if price can continue to stay up above 1760, we have a shot to rally up toward 1835, 1840. Above 1840, we'll open up all the way the top of the previous range, so all the way to the previous quarter's high. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the new week of trading. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.